Right.
A little Bluetooth thing.
Yeah.
Right, okay, what shall I do then? So you're going to stand over there and...
Okay, yeah, we're on mute at the minute. Okay. I just need to find the little Bluetooth thing. I need to stop her because she's going to work her up into a froth.
Should I put it in the bathroom? I need to walk around with them. Yeah.
Are they delivering a lesson? No. No. Lena, sit. 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 Oh.
Okay, that's ugly.
Hello guys, just testing. Can you hear me?
Hi, Kat. Yes, I can hear you. Hi.
Thank you. I'm going to
Yes.
put you guys on mute if that's okay. And if you, I will be able to hear you, but the rest of the class won't. So do say stuff if you want to pipe up or you can't see something. Cool?
Okay.
Awesome. Hey, Gigi. Let's go. Puppy. Good girl. Do you want to stand with her while I do the intro? Oh, the sun's right in my eyes. Cool. Awesome. I'm not going to move it though. Cool. Thanks. Cool. Hey guys, thanks for coming. Just
Yeah,
wait for
great
one
to
more
hear.
entry. Just noticing I'm scared feeding. Whose dog can I hear in the background? Gigi. Gigi here. Hey. Keep them coming. Set up with rocks. So high tech. Yeah, probably. It worked at that distance yesterday though. It was okay. Yeah, I know. I was in the shade. I was facing that way yesterday, and it wasn't so good. Yeah, it's just the wind on the earpiece that I've got. You have to be really careful, obviously. Lovely. Hey, okay, guys, shall we get started?
Great.
Hi. Hello, everyone, and thank you all so much for coming today. Weird times. What else can I say? We're all quite happily socially distanced here. Everyone's keeping away from everybody else. The nature of dog training makes that so and makes that easy. What we're going to be covering today is some recall and some loose lead. Now, our syllabus was supposed to be, I can't remember what it was supposed to be today for you guys, but we're putting in the things that you're going to find most useful to do practically today, in case that we don't see each other face to face for a little while. If we obviously get locked down and all of the hideousness, all our classes will be online anyway, even if it's just me. So you will still get all of your classes. And we can also we'll be restarting and postponing and picking up where we left off just as soon as the world returns to normal. Today is a bit weird. I'm videoing to lots of people. Say hello, all the people that are watching.
Hello.
They're saying all back, and I've got an earpiece in, and I can hear them. So I've got all the people at home with their dogs barking, which is great, along with all of your dogs. So usual rules apply. We teach outside from this time of year anyway, and this is what we would be doing regardless. So it's nice to be outside. The puppies find it easier, and we are blessed with really nice weather today, which is great. So just to say hello to everybody, people at home, I'll show you all the puppies in a minute that we've got when we're doing some exercises. But just to be aware, this here is Gigi. She's our demo dog for the day. We've borrowed her essentially. Helps with social distancing having a dog, really, because you're going to keep those two legs apart anyway. So I thought that would help me being not getting too close to anybody else. And we can also show you some of the exercises. Poor Gigi's been with us all day. Poor love her, so she's exceptionally tired. So she's very, very raring to go and raring to get on with class. So how's everyone? Cool. We've got water for the dogs over there. We've got toilets and hand washing facilities where we usually do. And let's get started. So I'm going to hand you over to Preeti first, and she's going to do a response to name exercise for you. Response to name is fab. It's probably, if I could teach one thing to every dog and puppy owner, I would probably be teaching you this, because it's the thing that gets your dog to re-key into you. So listen carefully. If you can't hear me, just put your hands up. I've got the sun in my eyes here, so I'm sorry if I'm squinting at you all, but I can see you over there. But so if you can't hear, shout up. Cool? Hand you over to Preeti.
So with response to name, does anyone think their puppy's name needs anything then? So when you say your puppy's name, what do they tend to do if they do anything? Ignore you. Ignore you, not something that puppies do.
Can't hear. Can't hear.
Bear with me. It'll only be a few minutes. We're just talking about response to name, and Preeti's talking to the classes.
What your puppy's name So we'll see how it goes. Ready?
Mark it.
And wait for eye contact.
Just mark it.
Yes.
Lovely.
So if you don't get eye contact from your puppy at first, just anything where they're looking at you, near you, or towards you, you're going to mark and say yes, and we'll be done. So we're going to try again. Gigi. So I didn't get her attention at first when I said her name, but as soon as I shuffled my feet back, make hissy noises, she looked towards me. So that's what we're going to mark and then we'll walk.
Viewers at home, have you got video footage?
Let's see how many times
Yes, we do.
Great, thank you.
Kat, by the way, it's Dagmara, the owner of Mambo. We stole your toy by accident.
Oh no, no worries.
Sorry. We'll bring it back.
No worries, thank you. Lovely, guys. So listening at home, what Preeti was explaining is getting your pup to pay attention to you by saying their name, making it happen, and then marking it once. And now everyone's having a go at that. I don't know if you can see me on the footage, but I'll have a quick go with Gigi. Gigi! Yes, good girl. Gigi! Yes, good girl. As you can see, she's settling down quite nicely. She's starting to listen in. Gigi! Yes, good girl. And it's that marker that means she does it again.
Toggle?
Yes.
Good girl.
Actually, hang on, I'm just going to go and check that everyone's doing it. So when you're marking, don't offer the food as you're asking for it. I know.
How many do you think you got? Like 3, 4, 10. Okay. I think I managed about 3 from Gigi. Oh, okay.
Don't worry, guys, we're doing loose lead next.
So something to note when you're like learning this sort of thing. It's really good in terms of when you're doing it in a training environment. Also, it's really good. Like in a real life setting, if you're at a park and you see another dog and your dog is doing really well, you can say your dog's name and you get their focus. This is good if you want to get to that dog and really building up frustration in themselves. So yeah, remember to practice this for a couple minutes every day. On a walk.
What Preeti's explaining to you guys at home is that you just need to be practicing this all the time.
We're going to hand you back to Kat now. We're going to do movement.
Recall. Hey guys, we're going to start off with a bit of recall practice now. So who understands what I say when I say recall? What do you think it means? Recall. Getting your dog back to you, yeah? Anything else? Yep, get her to pay attention. So we've warmed them up and they should be starting to listen to us a little bit now. The other thing that we need to do is actually physically get hold of them. A recall is only complete when you actually have hold of your dog. If you don't practice this from the get-go, you can end up with a dog that starts stopping there, and then there, and then there, and then just playing keep away with you. So remember, every single recall that we do, we're going to have our dogs actually physically get hold of them today. So everyone's got partners here, which is fantastic. What I'd like you to do is to take 5 paces, or you can work, if you guys work that way, you guys work between those 2 cones, you guys work backwards, you guys can work between those 2 cones, and you guys can work backwards. What I want just 5 paces between the 2 of you, so that you're a lead length away, no more to start with. And what I want you to do is to have a game of pass the puppy. So one person calls, I'll demonstrate with Preeti. One person calls like an absolute nutter, fill your boots, everything you need to do to get your pup to come to you. When you get hold of the pup, so when the pup comes near you, physically get hold of it before you reward it. And then you can give it food, treats, be amazing, anything you want to do when you get hold of your pup. Okay, so just to the end of the lead. Ready?
Toggle.
Good. Hand you the lead. Lovely. And back this way. Yeah. Good girl. Oh yeah. Broken. So I want you guys to be exciting about this one. Get your dog interested in coming back to you guys. Just between your lead lengths for now. Off you go. Guys at home, I'm going to show you the puppies. So this is Crumble, Luna, sorry. We had a Crumble in class that looked so similar before. Lovely. So get your attention and cool now. Good. Perfect. Back the other way. Good. Really sweet. Really lovely with Maxine, guys. Awesome. I'm not here. So guys find this harder. You need to be a bit higher pitched. Sounds silly? Yeah, literally. See, unfortunately, puppies have a higher pitched hearing to us. When she gets to you, make sure that you actually get hold of her. Good. So hold her now and take the lead.
Good girl.
And now you call back. You might need to be a bit louder against the distractions. Yeah, perfect. Good work. Roscoe's doing well. Off you go. And again. When you've got lots of people in your family, guys, you're going to have to remember for one person to call at any one time. So one person at a time, just one. You'll have to decide before you do it. Good work, guys. Hey, little Dutch, my man. So if you hold on to him, put your arms around his shoulders and physically point him in the direction you want him to be going at the minute, we're forcing it. We're just doing tiny, tiny little ones. And get much closer. Literally just the lead length is all we need you to be. Good. Get hold of him first before you reward him. So if you physically hold him and point him, that's it. Hands on his shoulders. Do you want to start? It might be easier if you start with him. Good. Yeah, that's it. Lovely. But put your hand on his collar before you reward him. It's great that you've got treats and things in your hand, but make sure you get hold of him before you offer them. So if you, yeah, we're having to use them as a lure at the moment. So all these stupid high-pitched noises and for treats and wiggly things. What we're doing with that is we're luring, essentially. We're getting the dog to come to us. You don't want to always do that. Otherwise, if you haven't got it in your hand, your dog's not going to come back. So as soon as possible, if you can be getting hold of him, and then when he actually physically gets to you, what you can do is reward him like a nutter when you've got, like, finish the behavior first. Good work. Oh my God, he's so cute. How you going, guys?
Yeah, good.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. No, we broke him. Hello, puppy. Say hello. Awesome. Cool. Cheers, guys. Lovely. Sorry. Hey, puppy. Lovely. Okay, guys, listen in. So it's lovely. All our pups are listening to us. They're starting to go in the right direction, and we're starting to build up that recall. It seems so daft doing it at such a short distance at this stage. We tend to teach with trail leads in class, but because we've got quite a lot of us in this space and they're 10 meters long, there will be no social distancing if I introduce the long lines at this stage. But I really, really do recommend you get a decent one and you learn how to use it. In one of our later classes, I'm going to be doing a demo on how you actually use a long line safely and effectively. It can go one of two ways. They're a pain, I'm not going to lie, but they're essential. Is anyone here letting their dogs off lead already? A little bit. Not just you, but in general, how many people here think their dogs would come back 100% if they called them? Probably, but she'd get into trouble beforehand. I love it. Yep. Yep.
Absolutely. So the thing we have to remember as well is that our dogs are babies, and when we have kids, our kids want mummy, they want to be close to us all the time. As they get older, the reason I'm quite keen for you to keep your dog on a long line until you've taught 100% recall is if it runs off and it learns to find pizza under bushes, in the case of my dog, or it learns to run off and play with other dogs, and you can't stop it and you can't control it, if you've got no way of preventing that from happening, we can't beat the pizza under the bush and we can't beat playing with other dogs. So essentially we have to teach it before we let them learn they can't do it. As they get older and they get more confident and they all become adolescents, you might have an amazing recall now, even if you have taught it. You'll let your dog off one day and he runs off, finds the pizza or chases the squirrel and never comes back to you because he's like, oh yeah, I did that when I was a baby, I've grown out of it. When that happens, go back to your long line, train through that period, and then your recall will be fine again. It often breaks down when you get to adolescence. You just need to bring it all back in. Lovely. So the next thing I want to talk about is how to get drive to get your puppies to come back to you. So all our pups are going in the right direction. That's a good thing. Back to the person we want at this point. Quite often I have a class and all the puppies will just go phew, somewhere completely that we didn't want. And what we're going to do this time is make them have a bit more drive to come back. So has anybody seen those toy cars that you pull back, let go, and they shoot forward? That's what we're trying to encourage here now today. What I want to do is for you to hold your dog. Oh, hang on, my video fell down. 2 seconds, because I need Preeti back. What we're going to do is we're going to play that game again. But what I want you to do is to hold on to your pup, just like Gigi's so desperate to get to Preeti. Go back a little bit for me. What I want you to do is to hold on to your pup for a couple of seconds longer before you let go of the lead. So before you let them go to the person that they want to go to, when you're absolutely certain they're raring to go. So Preeti's going to call like a nutter. I'm going to hold Gigi until I'm certain she's going to shoot there. And what you'll do is you'll start building up some drive to get to where they want to go. Make sense? I'll show you. Gigi, come on, let's go. Gigi, let's go. Keep going. Let's go. Yeah. So I only let her go when I knew that she was going to shoot in that direction. Off you go, guys. Thank you. Only for a second. Yeah. What I tend to do is just hold the lead just behind the harness. If you're putting your hands on their body, which is fine to do, it can be a bit restrictive for them, and they tend to just start wanting to turn around and go. Nah. Because he doesn't. If you're pulling him back, that doesn't encourage him to feel. So we're not walking at this point. You're just creating drive. If you when we do loose lead, you'll see what I mean. Really good question. Really good question. Yeah. Yeah. No. So we're not. We're just holding. So you're holding, releasing. Yeah. Good question. If you were walking forwards when he's pulling, then you're teaching him to pull. Yeah. 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 Excellent. He really wants to get there. If you're finding she's stopping a lot in the middle, just make it smaller. What you've got to do is make it happen enough times so then you can start increasing it. Not me. I forgot you guys. Hang on. We'll come and take you around and show you Roscoe. He's doing very well. Yeah. Careful, you're not training him to pull there. So be really careful about teaching him to pull. So just let go. Yeah. When you have a dog like a husky that essentially is designed to pull you, every step that you take with that lead, as we'll come on to in a minute, with him pulling on that lead, you're teaching him to do it. So be really careful about, when they do that run and you run along behind them, be really, really careful with that one. But yeah, nice, lovely recall coming along. Nice. Move him off that. If you need to, pick him up. Just move him off that patch of grass ever so slightly. And go from there. That's it. Just go. Cool now. Cool now. Cool now. Go. Let go. Yeah. Good. That's it. So just get his attention. Point it in the right direction and then just go. Good work. And back again. Let him go. Good. So what we really don't want to do is to be walking with him when he's pulling like that. Hold him still. Let him go. If we're walking along with him, pulling on the lead, we're going to be teaching him to pull, as you'll see. Cool. I want to come and love on you, but I can't. Yeah, we'll just let him look cute for a little while because he's so cute. Awesome. Cool. Hey, look, Daddy. I got her. Hey guys, listen in. Hey. So the last stage of the recall is a tiny bit of theory for you. We're all being silly and making chirpy noises and being really exciting to get our puppies to come back to us. It doesn't look very cool. Hey, it doesn't look very cool. So ideally, what we're going to do is just think of something you're going to use, preferably not your dog's name, because you tell your dog off with that name as well as want them to come back to you with that name. So try and think of a word that you can use. I use here, or you can use come, or you can any kind of word. If you break your recall later in life, I'll reteach you with a random word. I've got a lady that calls her dog back bacon, and that seems really effective because it was a brand new recall. Hey, leave a be. So what I want you to do is to think of a word that you're going to use and put your body language into it as well. So I use a nice big open arms and a bit of a play bow myself. So yeah. If you put a bit of a curtsy into it, it's like a play bow for a dog. So quite often they want to come towards you anyway. In terms of when we're doing a recall from afar as well, nice big arms, they can see you even if they can't hear you and they know what you want. Gigi, here. Hey, yeah. And moving backwards from your dog rather than towards them when they get to you will really help them stop stopping. So have one last go at the recall, really making it formal now. If you have to be making the silly noises and the luring of your dog with the food and the toys, that's fine. Just put the actual cue on the end of it. So you'd be pop, 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 pop. Here. Yeah, good girl. Make sense? Lovely. Off you go, guys. Scatter. Be enticing. Channel your inner squirrel. She's just looking at you. More exciting. Ruffle the grass between your feet as well. So ruffle the grass between your feet and show that you've got something amazing. Not as amazing as the dog over there. She's like, I see you every day. So get much closer. That's it. If it doesn't work because she's genuinely very distracted, make it happen. So don't call and call and call and call and call with her ignoring you, because they'll just learn to ignore you. So make it think, what can I do to make this easier at this stage? Cool. Oh no, they showed you up really badly. Truthfully, it's usually the other way around because they'll listen to high-pitched girls more. Oh, doing well. Oh, it's so cute. The little rear up before she goes. Good work. Lovely. Finish off on the one you're on this for a minute, guys.
Excellent. Okay, I want everyone to take 5. Take your dog to the edge of the field. Let them have a little sniff round. If you need a pee break, that's fine. If they're going to leave me any leavings, please pick them up. We've got poo bags, and we'll reconvene in 5 minutes. Cheers. Hello guys, we're back. Can you hear me at home? Hey, anybody at home hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Lovely. Listen in again, guys, when you're ready. Hello, Bobby. I'm gonna pull like crazy. Thank you. Cheers. Gigi. Yes. Oh, I've stood on my pup. Oh, don't stand on your pup, people. Not the desired effect. So, guys, loose lead walking. We're going to move straight in to loose lead walking and teach you some exercises. There's a lot of theory to go behind loose lead walking, but I'm going to save that for a whole video that I'm going to do for you. I just want to get you guys doing some of the practicalities of it. The first practicality that you need to get your head around is every time you pull your dog, you're giving them carte blanche to pull you. So every time you pull your dog with your lead along like that. Sorry, Gigi. I find it quite hard to do now. It's funny. Every time you pull your dog, they will pull you back. They have an opposition reflex, and that's what will happen. So I want your lead to be as loose as you can. They are going to get all legs tangled up and things like that. It's not a problem. You can adjust the length of your lead as you go, but I want your lead to be long enough so that your dog can choose to walk near you or not. I don't need anybody in the old-fashioned gripped up stance pulling at their dogs. We need to at this stage be teaching them that it's good to hang about next to you. It's funny, with puppies everything you do is in front of you. Now we have to start teaching them that beside us is probably better. If you could do all your training round to the side, it would be great, because your puppy would learn that's their default position, and they would start just presenting themselves there, and that would be really great. But we don't. We have them in front of us because we have backs that don't want to get wrecked. So first exercise I'm going to show you is called drunk walking. If you don't look silly doing this, you're not doing it right.
So what I want you to do is to take some treats in one hand, and I want you to take one giant step in any direction. And I want you to offer that treat down at your puppy's height, where you want them to be, at your heel. Not round in front of you, but behind where you want them to be. And then I want you to take another step in a different direction and offer a treat down by the side of your leg. And another step and offer a treat down by the side of your leg. And what we'll start to do is build up the idea that the dog gets reinforced for being beside you, not in front of you. I'll show you a very quick demo. So I'm going to take a step, offer a treat, take a step. Gigi. Call her back to me if I have to. Gigi. Yeah. Let's go. Changing direction. And she's starting to follow where I go. When you've got a nice one step, I want you to start with 3 steps. Go grab some more treats. 1, 2, 3. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Chew, chew. 1, 2, 3. So she's always being reinforced to my left side. Pick a side and stick with it if you can, guys. It's just easier for your pup. I don't mind which side. I try and teach having dog on your left so you have your horse on your right, but I don't have a horse. So, yeah, shame. Off you go. Start your exercise. Hey. Thanks. Has she pooped? Good. Just do some scatter if you can. I'll stay further away. If you can get some flow to it, so step, treat, and if you can also, if you work back out that way, you'll find it easier because you're working away from the distractions. So step and have the food down ready. Thank you. I can't see what's on it. Practice with Gigi.
Hello.
Hey. So you're pretty giant compared to your tiny pup. So when I'm saying one giant step, it might not genuinely need to be that giant. Yeah, which is nice because you're already progressing up to your 3 and 5 steps. Lovely. Further back. So see that line down the side of your, yeah, see that it's really bad for your back, this one, but that line down the side of your leg, you always want behind. If you just go a tiny bit too far in front, they'll just learn to walk in front of you. Good. It's fine, it's fine. But you were quick with it. The only problem with putting treats on the ground to snuffle is the fact that now he wants to snuffle on everything. Good. Next. Loose lead though. What are you guys using as treats? Okay, cool. I'm going to chuck you this little bag if you want it. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Quite possibly. So feed behind you with Roscoe. Draw a line down the side of your leg and feed just behind your heel. That's it. Much better. Just one step now. Yep. And change direction. Go quick. Move quick. What you can start doing is just letting him almost lick that treat and move on to the next one. You don't have to be putting in whole pieces of food now. So he just kind of licks it and goes on for the next one, licks it and goes on for the next one.
With the same thing.
Yep. Move quick. Lovely, move quick. I'm sorry, I'm massively distracting you. Quick, quick, quick. He turns around every time. Lovely. Hey, hey, Gigi. What a good girl. Good girl. Gigi. Good girl. Yeah, let's get some duration on your sit, eh? Guys, listen in. Finish off on the one you're on and come in. I'm going to very quickly move on to another exercise, trying to pack it all in here. Don't worry, there will be more videos of this and you'll be able to get that video if it works at all to go over things again. I just want to try and pack in 3 classes in one. So, next exercise. What we're doing with that one is teaching our pup a foundation of wanting to be beside us. And that's really helpful for them at this age to just promote being where they want them to be. But we also do need to teach them to walk nicely as well. I would rather you spent 2 weeks on that first exercise, making your pup just be there. As you can see, you can teach loose lead without a lead. It's better to teach it without a loose lead, even in your living room. God, when we all get isolated, everyone's going to be doing really little loose lead in their house. And what we need to be doing is starting to teach them to be moving along with us in a straight line. Hey. Let's go. Good girl. Good girl. So next thing I'm going to do is an exercise called forwards, backwards, sideways. Between the little runs that I've just made you, keep going in the same directions. What I want you to do is to take some treats again. And you can use a technique called wiggle hand for this one. So you don't have to necessarily be giving your dog quite so many treats. But what we're going to do is we're going to go 3 times. The first one, we're going to go backwards. The second one, we're going to go sideways with our dog in front of us. And the last one, we're going to walk normally. I'll show you what I mean. Gigi. Let's go. So I'm wiggling my hand. You're going to belly crawl the whole way. Good girl. Wiggling my hand. Just giving maybe 1 treat at the end. Now I'm going to walk this way. Gigi. With my hand up here so she's following me. And then I'm going to walk normally. Yes. And I'm going to reward her for being just where I want her to be. Yes, good girl. Gigi, let's go. Yeah, what is this? Puppy. Yeah, good girl. So the first one is backwards. The second one is sideways. And the last one, you never want to do the last one. Let's go, Gigi. Yeah. The last one is walking normally with your pup beside you, trying not to eat all the stuff that's on the ground. Off you go, guys. Lovely. Good.
Actually, good.
Nice.
Trees. Tops of the trees. Thank you.
Lovely. Perfect. Really good, guys. Giving out the right amount of treats, not just stuffing them in. That's fabulous. Really good. So when you're doing your forwards walking with Dutchie, that's great. Wiggle hand will be really good for him, terrier-wise. You could hold a toy in your hand if you wanted. But on the last one, I want you to walk upright and don't have your hand trailing down if you can help it. Obviously, you need to get his attention on it. But I want you to be marking your yes and giving him a treat, or just every now and again giving him an actual treat. But yeah, this will be a good one to key him in because it's a lot of movement and terrier type stuff going on. Off you go. Oh, having a pee. Hang on, Dad. He's so ready now. So backwards, lovely. Keep your hand nice and low so you don't promote jumping. When you change direction, do it smart so you don't lose his attention. Sideways. And forwards. Good. So he's got the nice trot when you're forwards, but you need to start just fading your hand up. That's good. Good focus. It's nice. Yeah, it's fine. As soon as I turn up. The grass is too interesting. Oh, really? Maybe from earlier. If you want to move off that a little bit and come down that way, there's plenty of space. Yeah. Gigi's ready. She's so ready. So if she's jumping up a lot, either put your hand lower or higher. Yeah. So when you're luring, lure at her height so she doesn't have to jump up. After a while, start standing straight and just put a treat down, rather than dragging your hand just at that height that she thinks you can snap up for. Cool. Hey, Papa. Hello. Yeah, this is fab. Yeah, lovely. Okay, guys, listen in. The last exercise I'm going to teach you, if it's the most effective one you do today, I don't want you using it yet still. I still want you to be putting your groundwork in and making sure that your pup, first of all, twigs hanging around you is better than hanging around at the end of the lead. Then I want them to learn to walk nicely, paying attention to you because you're going to reward them. And then I want you to start being able to walk normally like normal people out in the world. Okay? So, yeah, totally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the counting game, but be aware this is for later on when you've got better at it. How this works, and I should point out that Gigi hasn't actually done a loose lead walk class at all so far. So she's the same as all your pups in that she's still learning. And this is an advanced game, so that's my disclaimer if she doesn't ever want to pay attention to me at all. So I've got my lead nice and loose, ready to go. What I'm going to do, and I've got my pup next to me, because we practiced those forwards, backwards, sideways so much. Gigi, Papa, yeah, let's go. So she's next to me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one step, only one, with her in position, and I'm going to reward her. Then I'm going to take 2 steps with her in position, and I'm going to reward her. This takes an element of multitasking, so sorry guys, you might struggle with this one. What I want you to be doing is feeding on the move. Try not to stop when you're doing this. Then you're going to take 3 steps, reward and treat, 4 steps and 5 steps, and so on. This game is, if you build it up to 300, apparently it means the behavior is taught forever. But what happens is if the dog moves out of step, go back to 1 and then start building it back up again. It will be frustrating to start with. If you find that you're stuck on anything under 10, then you need to go back and do your games earlier. So I'll show you what I mean, but I'll talk you through it. But this is for a little bit later on. But anyway, we'll try. Good girl, you ready? So 1 step, yes. Just move out the way. 1, 2 steps, yes. 1, 2. So she's moved out of sync. I'm going to start again. Gigi, Gigi, got to pay attention to me first. Let's go. 1 step. 1, 2 steps, yes. 1, 2, 3 steps, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, yes. She's confused. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. Good girl. 1, 2, let's go. 3, 4, 5, 6, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, sort of. Does that make sense? Everyone have a very quick go at that game right now. Be aware it's not really something that you want to be doing right, like early on in your training with your pup. Off you go. Good go, Gigi. Because you've got huge long legs, oh, both of you have actually, it's a long way down to your little tiny short pup. You're going to get bad back quite quickly. What I have had people do quite successfully is to use like a wooden spoon with a tiny taste of peanut butter on it or something, and you just offer it down to the pup to reward them, so they can have one lick as a treat. Yeah, literally. Or those grabby things, you know, those like children's grabbers. So the trick to this one is to get your pup keyed into you before you start, before you take that one step. Sorry. Yeah, good. It's your expert handling. What at the moment is great, and you're doing what I was doing, which is right. So you're holding the food out so you can see it. You want to be able to stop holding your food out. So when you start playing this game, when he can actually do it, you literally just produce the treat rather than follow my hand. Cool. So you're rewarding rather than luring. Cool. Yeah. So I don't really mind if he's behind you, but if he goes in front, you go back to 1. Yeah. Sorry, busted. The key to this one is to get your pup keyed into you first before you start. So you'll be stuck on one step for ages. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, frustration tolerance is being built up that he can't rush up to every dog and see. He'll end up giving up. So there's value in it.
It's just a distraction as well.
Yep, absolutely. Oh yeah. Oh, I bet, yeah. And we build it up slower than we do in puppy class. Really, it's about teaching you guys so that I know you can do it and then take it away. Yeah, quite possibly. Awesome. Hey guys at home, I'm pretty sure the quality is rubbish for you at the moment. It's probably because I'm running off Wi-Fi from running off 3G from my phone. So I'm very sorry if it's not amazing. Hello everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. How are you?
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Huddle. Hi.
Say hello, Toggle.
Fab.
Come and say hello.
Toggle. Hey. Awesome. Lots for you guys to practice.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Cool. We haven't quite finished. Guys, listen in. So the last thing I want to go through is a tiny, tiny bit of theory about pulling. Behavior that is reinforced is repeated. That is my mantra. If a dog gets something out of it, it will do it again. So what do you think reinforces a dog that's pulling? Pulling it back. Yes. What else? Giving a reward. Yes, absolutely. What else? Following them. 100% following them, speeding up when they speed up, and being dragged along by your dog. The oldest method of teaching loose lead walk is the most frustrating. So what I want you to be doing is remembering every step you take with that lead not nice and loose is basically going to be teaching your dog to pull. So if your dog pulls, you stop dead. Wait for the dog to just the lead to slacken off. Try not to wait for your dog to sit, because that can cause problems and they'll just start sitting like a French bulldog. They just sit. And what I want you to do is to just stop, pause. The timing of you starting again is just as important as the timing of you pulling. So as soon as that lead slackens off, you move again. and you stop, and then you move again. And if you did that from the day you got your puppy, none of them would ever pull to start with from now. They'd get to the end of the lead, they'd realise they can't go anywhere, relax, and then think, oh, I can move when we move together. So be aware of that. That's the number one maxim in dog training. If you find yourself needing to go to work or get home or speed up, or you really need to go and you can't keep stopping with your dog the whole time, what you can do is you can turn around. So your dog pulls and you turn around, and then you walk in a big loop round in a circle with him loose lead, and he pulls again. So you turn around and you walk in a big loop back round, and it can mean that you get to where you're going, where you need to go faster. You might be crossing roads because pavements are obviously a bit narrow for us, but that's basically the premise of dog training. Every time your dog pulls you and you take one step forward, you're teaching them to pull you, and they're being reinforced and they're learning that it works. Cool. No worries. So we're going to finish there. Any questions for me about anything we've covered? I know it was a massive whistle stop. That was 2 classes in one, and everyone's done really well, actually. I'm quite happy with that. Any questions? Any questions from the floor at home? Just stare into middle distance. No, we're all good. Lovely. Thanks very much, guys. In all honesty, I can't see us being allowed to have classes next week. If we do, we'll be here. If not, we'll have classes online. We're having one-to-ones in small venues if we can't have big groups and everything like that. Please just watch this space for the minute. Cool. Take care, guys. Cheers. Thank you very much, viewers at home. If you've got any feedback for how the video went and things, I'm pretty sure it's only our first go at it. Gigi's saying hi. It's only our first go at it, so bear with us, but all feedback is gratefully received with what you could see or hear and how well it worked. So cool. I'll speak to you all soon individually. Bye.
Bye. Thanks so much.
See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.